Hey everybody, I should say hello fellow traders. My name is Greg Lewis. I'm the marketing manager for MetaStock, and our main presentation will be starting here in about 4 minutes and 45 seconds. First of all, let's watch a video. Stick around.
Hi there, Greg Lewis, MetaStock Software. As the marketing director, I get asked all the time, what is MetaStock? How can I help my trades? Well, stick around for about 3 minutes and I'll tell you. MetaStock is an award-winning software and data package that has been helping traders for over 35 years. Simply put, MetaStock is a tool for traders like you to analyze the markets. MetaStock helps you take the guesswork out of trading by offering a methodical, systematic approach to some key questions all traders come up against. Questions like, how do I decide which securities to trade when there are literally thousands to choose from? Which strategy should I use, and how do I test that strategy before spending my first trading dollar? When should I enter and exit a trade? How can I effectively manage the securities I'm interested in? And of course, how do I know where prices will go next? At the core of MetaStock are the Power Tools. The Power Tools give professional-grade analysis tools to private traders like you and me. You can scan the market with the MetaStock Explorer to filter and sort securities that show buy and sell signals based on your criteria. The MetaStock System Tester lets you test most strategies through a process called backtesting, which allows you to see how your strategy would have performed over time. You can easily manage and monitor the securities you are interested in with Quote Center. Quote Center lets you sort on a variety of criteria to view the data that's important to you. Then just double-click on a security if you want to see its chart. With the MetaStock Forecaster, you can even take advantage of patented technology to view probable future prices. If you're an options trader, you're going to love MetaStock's OptionScope. OptionScope puts all the critical info at your fingertips, displaying sortable, customizable, color-coded options data, including the Greeks. And MetaStock has solutions for traders of all levels and interests. If you're just getting into trading, you will appreciate the education offered by our many built-in systems. In addition to pointing out buy and sell signals, MetaStock explains how they work in an easy-to-follow commentary window. MetaStock has built-in systems based on popular strategies like MACD, Bollinger Bands, turtle trading, candlesticks, and many more. MetaStock even has the very popular and exclusive Rahul Mohindar oscillator system, or simply known as the RMO. And as you become a more experienced trader, MetaStock grows with you. Advanced analysts will enjoy the comprehensive list of trading systems and indicators, and the ability to build their own systems. And if you're a day trader, you can't do better than Zenith, the real-time news, data, and analysis package offered by Refinitiv, a world leader in market data. Add on the world-class support, and it's not hard to see why MetaStock has won the Stocks and Commodities Reader's Choice Award for 26 consecutive years. To find out more about MetaStock and how it can help your trading, visit metastock.com or contact a product professional via phone, email, or chat.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video. We are going to be starting here in about 1 minute. Just a few quick things. If you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, we would really appreciate it. This way, and ringing the bell. This way you'll be notified whenever we have a live event, just like we're having right now. Also, do make sure that you go ahead and interact with the speaker and ask him questions and challenge him. He likes that. Try to stump Bobby today. He'll love it. I can't think of anything else, so I'm going to let you listen to some jazzy music for here just for a second until we begin. Thank you so much for joining us, and successful trading.
All right, welcome everyone. It's time to get started. I'm Bobby Hiller. I'm going to be your presenter today, and today we're going to be going through how you can navigate the markets and improve some of your trading analysis utilizing MetaStock's Zenith. So before we dive too deep into things, I do real quickly have to go through this disclaimer with everyone. So this demonstration, it's designed to instruct you on using MetaStock and the accompanying software plugins, and it's not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using the specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading, and MetaStock shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of the software and any trading strategies or information provided in connection with the company. Now that we got that boring stuff out of the way, I guess just to let you guys know a little bit more about me. I've been here at MetaStock for almost 8 years now, just a couple of months away from that anniversary there, 8 years. And I initially started in sales and helping, a lot of our clients kind of find the right products and features for them. But the last several years now, I've been in business development. I'm actually the head of our international business development department. So I work with all of our partners kind of across the globe. And it's a really great job, honestly. So I get to work with professional traders all the time. I myself am not a professional trader, but I'm lucky enough to learn from a lot of them and learn about different ways of looking at the market and doing different types of analysis. And, one of the great things about MetaStock and the MetaStock Zenith product we're going to be demoing today is that it can be used in so many different unique ways and in so many different types of situations. So what I'm hoping for today is that I can maybe, share some of my knowledge with you and some of the things I've learned from our different partners and different traders and just from using the software myself for so many years. And hopefully, you'll pick up on one or two things that might be able to help benefit you and your, analysis of the markets as well. If you want to know a little bit more about MetaStock, I always like kind of going through these slides. I think it's kind of fun. You'll see here the floppy disk, the 3.5-inch for MetaStock, back from the version 1.0. I mean, we were founded back in 1982, so we've been around, for a really long time, over 40 years, helping to pioneer technical analysis. We were purchased by Reuters back in 1995. And then we released our first real-time data feed with them in 2005. And then we released the MetaStock Zenith product, which is what we're going to mostly be going through today, back in 2012. So that's been out for over, 12 years now. We divested from Thomson Reuters back in 2013. So it's been over a decade now for that. So even they purchased us in 1995, and then they went from Reuters to Thomson Reuters, then through Refinitiv, and now they're owned by LSEG, or the London Stock Exchange. So lots of name changes, and they no longer own us. However, we still have all the same core employees here at MetaStock. The average MetaStock employee has actually been here for, I believe, about 13 years. So I'm one of the newer employees, having been here for just 8 years myself. So we've still kind of kept the same core team, but now that we're not owned by Reuters or Refinitiv, or however you want to refer to them as, we're able to move a little more quickly. There's less red tape. We don't have to get through as many levels of approval and have as many meetings and everything. So it's kind of nice. And the president of MetaStock back then is the one that purchased us back, Scott Brown, and he is still the active owner, even though now Kelly Clement is the president. And that's just, a little bit of information on MetaStock. Another thing I actually like to share is we've actually won the Reader's Choice Award from Stocks and Commodities magazine for over 31 years in a row now in our price category for our end of day platform. And then for the real-time platform, it's been 11 years in a row now. So pretty much ever since we released this feed, we've won the best software in its price category. So something else that's pretty interesting there. I'm going to spend the majority of my time today inside of the actual MetaStock Zenith software, but I just kind of want to give you guys a quick kind of overview, and just so I don't mess up all the numbers, I have a couple slides on that. So this system is powered by Refinitiv, the Zenith is, and there's pricing data for approximately 70,000 globally listed companies, and research items, there's over 40 million of those. The software is powered by, or it gets its information, I should say, from over 2,600 different full-time journalists for the news feed, and that's across 200 different news bureaus. So we do have access to over 150 currencies, and FX data is included in all of the different data packages that we offer. We also include the news within all of the packages as well. You can access cross-asset data that influences the markets. We have, global equities, we have futures, Forex, fundamentals, economic data. We have some cryptocurrencies, and it's just a very intuitive platform. You'll see there was actually over $1 billion went into the creation of this platform, and its Icon is basically the biggest competitor to the Bloomberg terminal, and we offer basically a retail version of that Icon platform called MetaStock XENITH, and we're the only one to offer this at a very competitive price point for a retail trader, where you're looking at spending, maybe $100 to $165 a month versus, potentially $3,000 a month that a lot of the professionals have to pay. Now, kind of with that quick intro, let's go ahead and jump inside of the software and go through some of the different features in there. Okay, so kind of, as I mentioned before, it's a retail version of Icon, but you're actually searching and opening up Icon. I had this open earlier, but I guess it wants to open up again. So we'll go ahead and let that load here for just a moment. I should get out of full screen. Okay, it's actually up here at the top. So this is a bar that I kind of keep open on a daily basis. You'll see this search bar up here at the top, and this kind of holds my workstations. It has this little search option here. I just have this open all day long because if I want to, look at something throughout the day, or like do a quick research, how I like to kind of explain Zenith to users is that it's basically the World Wide Web, but for trading analysis. So anything I type into here, I'm going to get back some sort of result, and it's going to have to do with trading. So if I wanted to look up like a company, we'll just start from the basics. Hey, say you want to get a little bit more information on a company before you trade it. So let's say Ford, for example. That's a really easy example. If I just hit F, that's the symbol they trade by, and it's going to pop it up here. But, if I didn't know the symbol and I just started typing in the word, so if I type in Ford, it'll bring it up as well. This is just very intuitive, and you'll see there's lots of different links I can jump into from here as well. It's giving me the option to just open it up. I can go to an overview page immediately, a quote page, a financial chart. I can look at its news monitor, or I can pull up all of its different options and things of that nature. Let's go ahead and just open up the overview page. This is kind of the screenshot you might have seen that we had in the background for my presentation, just because I think it has so much valuable information here, and it's pretty useful. So this is the overview page of Ford that I brought up. And again, we have over 70,000 companies listed inside of here. So you can get all of this data you see here very easily by simply just typing in, the name of the company or something of that nature. And then everything you see here too can actually be dived into, and there's more information or additional information within the company. And so we're going to spend a little bit of time kind of going through some of this data, reviewing, how it might be used or how it might be beneficial. And just something that I think is worth stating again, there's going to be a lot of information, a lot of data that we're looking at today, because Zenith has so much to offer. And again, there's so many different ways of doing analysis on data and things of that nature. So all I want to say is don't let yourself get overwhelmed by everything that we're going to be looking at today. That's not my intention, even though I know it is kind of a lot of stuff that we're going to be looking at here. I just want you to get comfortable, kind of see if there's a few things that you can pick out that you think maybe you want to learn more about, or that you think might be useful in your trading analysis or something of that nature. And if you find just a couple of things that interests you, then I recommend getting a trial of the software, which we'll talk about some of the trial options at the end of today's presentation, and then get a trial and kind of dive deeper and learn more for yourself. I'm not trying to overwhelm you with data here, just trying to show you some of the features in here because I know a lot of you might be interested in some of the different data that's in here. So with all of that said, let's get back onto this page here and kind of check some of this out. So on this overview page here, we can see there's a business summary. I'm sure a lot of you are probably familiar with Ford. It's a motor company, an automobile company, I should say. So we'll just go ahead and skip past that. And this next section here is news. Now, again, news is one of the big features of Zenith, and there's a lot of different ways to go in here and get your news. So I like that on the overview page, it just lets me know, important things that are happening. I can see the time that it came through. Everything in here is clickable. So if I wanted to learn more about one of these news stories, I can click on it and it's going to give me, all the information regarding it. I can see exactly where it came from. Let's go ahead and full screen this. I can dive into deeper links from within here. I can get related stories inside of here. If it talks about multiple companies within the story, it's going to give me the quotes for them over here, and I can easily dive into the companies or into the links within here for the news. You can also have it, color coded for more important information. If I wanted to look up past news, I could come in here and look up past like events and news and recent developments, things of that nature. All right, going on to the next category here. So we have price performance. So I have a quick chart here. This is currently set at 5-year because that's the last thing I had it set at. Sometimes I'll just maybe have a 5-day or today's data, just a real quick glance at maybe the market trend or the securities trend or direction, something like that. There are more in-depth charts available in Zenith as well, but it's nice to have this on an overview page. We also have the 52-week high and low right here. Lets me know when the next earning report is. If I wanted to get details on that earning report, all I have to do is click right here to open those details, and then it's going to provide me information on the upcoming events and things going on with them, which I think is quite interesting. Another thing you'll kind of notice throughout today's presentation, you'll oftentimes see a little option to add things to my calendar up here, or if we look over here, there's options to open this up in a fact sheet or open it up inside of Excel or change the settings on something. So everything's very customizable, and you can often pull the data out of here and bring it into Excel to do further analysis in there as well, which I think is really neat. All right, moving along here. If I scroll down just a little bit, we can see now there's this section giving me some fundamental data and information here. And I can, of course, click into these links and learn a little bit more about them. Right here, it's showing recommendations. So this is like analysts' recommendations. It lets me know the current mean. Also in that sector for auto and truck manufacturers, kind of where it stands. And currently there's 5 analysts saying it's a strong buy, 4 saying a buy, 13 at hold, 3 at sell, 1 at strong. If I wanted even more information on this, simply click into it. You'll see this is a common theme here. So I'm going to click inside of it, and now I can see more information on this as well. And again, kind of as I mentioned, this works very similarly to like a web browser. So now if I want to go back to where I just was, I can come up here and click the back button, or on my nice little mouse here, I have a back button, and I can click that as well to kind of dive into different things. Also, when you're kind of looking at things and doing analysis, stuff like that, you can also open up additional pages too. So I'm not stuck just on this one. If I wanted to compare it to another page, I can come in here and type in Tesla. And I can open up Tesla, and then I could, if I wanted to, put these side by side, and they kind of snap too. So you'll see that snap to the top bar, and I drag it down here. And you'll see me doing this with different apps throughout the day, but I think it's just kind of nice to open up a quick comparison here. And you can see these are kind of attached to each other now. If I can get my mouse to grab, there we go. Now these are kind of linked together. If I wanted to pull them around or move them onto a different monitor to keep them on a different monitor and look at them there, etc., you can open up several different tabs doing all sorts of different things. We will dive into that a little bit later. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of worth pointing out. For now, though, I don't think I really need that open. So let's go ahead and full screen this here. Okay, so if we keep kind of going down the line, we can see like the relative valuation here on as listed on the overview page. More information on estimates and where it's likely to go. I can also click in here and kind of get a summary, looking at dates, reports. I can do estimates of revenue, profit, earnings before interest, taxes, etc. All sorts of details there. You can also get some environmental, social, and governance ratings here. Something I actually really like to look at are these star mine models. And this is letting me know bullish and bearish, like mostly like fundamental and some technical indicators in here, and kind of giving a rating to it. If I don't know what one of these is, I can click on this little question mark and it's going to pop up and tell me. So this is saying the current regional percentile rank of the security based on the value momentum model. So value signals exploit the tendency of stock prices to exhibit mean reversion. Over and undervalued securities tend to revert to more moderate valuation levels over time. If I kind of just jump down here, it says the combination of global ranks on each of these four inputs results in the overall star mine value momentum score for a security. And then, if I wanted to plug this function somewhere into an Excel spreadsheet, it gives me the Excel function right here for when I'm in the Thomson Reuters Excel system. So yeah, you can see the bullish and the bearish things here, or I could go in and look at all models. Some of these I actually tend to value if I'm trying to decide between a few different securities to get into that have similar technical signals after doing some charting analysis or scanning or back testing with MetaStock. Then I might come in here and compare their star mine models to decide which security I want to take action on. If I'm not wanting to get into multiple or more than a few. Okay, let's keep going here. So peers, I can also see all of its peers just at a quick glance here, and to kind of get an idea of how that sector is doing overall. And I can see private equity summary and just so much more. And so this is just on one single overview page here. But if I wanted to dive even deeper into this security, I can very easily do that. If I just kind of scroll up over here, I'm going to show you guys just some of the tabs and some of the information that you can dive deeper into. So some of this information is kind of on this overview page, but most of these things you can click into to get a whole page kind of dedicated to it. So this was the overview page. I mean, I can go more serious into news, so just news in general, or I can open it up inside of the News Monitor app, where I can see all sorts of news that's coming in. And then I can add additional filters and things like that in here as well for the news. You can also go in and look at price and charts. And if I just open up the overview page, we can see things here. But a couple things that I kind of like to point out. So you can open up time and sales. I actually middle clicked on this, so it's going to open up in a new window here. You'll see, I must have clicked on it twice here. But here you can have time and sales shown here. Or if you want to look at volume weighted average price, I know that's something that a lot of people are often looking for. I can open that up over here as well. And this is actually opening up a number of different securities in here and letting me do comparison on them, but I can go in and kind of change what it's looking at and everything like that. We can also look at estimates. So you can get, we saw some of those recommendations and target prices. You can look at the financials. I think this is pretty worth looking at here. So you can go inside and you can actually see the income statements for all these different companies. You can look at their balance sheets, look at who their major competitors are or things of that nature. And you get several years of historical data inside of here too. And you can kind of dive deeper into these to look at total revenue, look at where, gross profit is coming in, as well as net income before taxes and things of that nature. You can really kind of dive deep and pretty much find any information that you might be looking for inside of here. We, of course, have event pages. You can look up corporate events, company deals. You can look up ownership details, see an ownership summary, see where all before it is. It's mostly owned by institutions and investment managers, but you can get more information on that, seeing the biggest holders or value changes here, like the Vanguard Group, BlackRock, etc. Seeing just the different ownership, where they are in different funds and things of that nature. You can also look at their debt and debt structures, their peers, The list goes on and on. Again, a little bit of a data dump here, but I just really want you guys to see all the kind of power that's in here, and I'm hoping you find a couple of things that you like, and then you can kind of go in and research this some more yourself. So here is the most traded options page for Ford. So I can come in and look up all the different options. I can look up the individual options, and I can even like take these symbols and then I could chart the individual option chains if I wanted to. I can see the put call ratios, the open interest on here as well. So lots of different options data and things of that nature too. And then I guess let's kind of click into this last menu here that covers a lot of this. So just like a 360 menu. So most of these tabs and things we were looking at, list them all out right here for me to easily kind of just dive in and check them out. And as I mentioned before, there are additional charts and things available for this too. So I really like the seasonality chart. Let's go ahead and check that one out. So I can see this here. You can see this is for the year 2024, purple's for 2023, green is 2022, 2021 and 2020, etc. And you can kind of see how it's done throughout the different seasons of the year. So January through December down here, and see if you can notice any sort of patterns or things like that. Some companies really are very seasonally like dependent, and they have a lot of swings. And so I think this is kind of a useful chart to look at here. Go ahead and close that one down, show you guys just a couple of other examples of some interesting charts. We can look at, of course, just like a standard technical analysis chart. Now, I will say, if you're really into charting and technical analysis and things of that nature, Zenith does pair with MetaStock Real-Time. So our MetaStock Real-Time software is powered by the Zenith data feed. And MetaStock has far more technical indicators and full trading systems included within it. But inside of Zenith, if you're just looking for like a quick chart or something like that, you can come in here and there's, you can add in trend lines, you can add in different types of data, you can put like earning reports onto your chart or things of that nature. And then it does have, a couple dozen indicators and things like that too. But you get hundreds of indicators inside of MetaStock. Here's some of the indicators that are included inside of the financial chart for Zenith. Here's also just kind of preset charts here. Like if I just wanted to look at a quick Bollinger Band 20-day chart, you can do that. All sorts of different kind of chart options for you here. All right. So that's kind of showing you a company overview. If you already knew a company that you were considering trading and you wanted to just dive in and research it, that's what I recommend doing. Just type in the name of the company and, start going through these pages. You'll soon learn, which tabs have the information that you might be most interested in and things of that nature, and review it that way. But there's other ways to kind of use Zenith and look at it, different things as well. So let's kind of look at some other kind of workflows or things that you might do inside of here. And I think a good way to do that is to maybe just jump into the home page and kind of go from there. So again, I said this is really kind of like an internet browser for what you're doing inside of here, and there's different ways to jump into things. The one I use the most commonly is the search bar up here, where I could simply come in and type in home and hit enter, and it's going to open up the home page for me here. Another easy way to get into that is to click the little menu right here, and then I can go into my apps here and jump into like the home app, or several other different applications over here, or jump into like the app library and kind of dive around and look at all the different applications and things within here. But for now, we'll just kind of start on this home page and see what we can find inside of here. So I often am looking at equities. So my home page is set up to have the equities tab up here, and then I have kind of some saved, well, this is the demo computer really, but then we have saved like political and policy things here, commodities, FX, kind of front page news, Reuters breaking views, etc. And so this is kind of just the home page. It gives a lot of news at a glance. I can see all the main equity indices and kind of what's going on with them here. And then on this page, there's also lots of things that we can kind of dive into. Some of this we kind of touched on earlier while looking through the company overview page. You saw some of the functionality that we can dive into. This is kind of a layer up from that, I suppose. But every time I do these webinars, I do like to try to have a slightly different workflow or go through things a little bit differently, because I know we have a lot of great customers and repeat viewers and things, in which it's great to have you guys all here. And I don't want to give you the same exact presentation every time. So this isn't fully scripted. So apologies if you catch me jumping around just a little bit, but I'm trying to make sure it stays entertaining for anyone that might come back and watch these again in the future. So with that said, yeah, let's look at some more of these links. So in the equity quick links here, I kind of showed you some of the time and sales for like Ford earlier, but you can come in here and open this up for really like any security. And then within here, it also has volume weighted average price or volume at price indicators that you can look at. You can see the money flow, the lift and hit or ask and bid kind of logs as well. So I think that's some really interesting information. You can open up the index movers and sector analysis to get a kind of broader idea of the overall market and what might be going on. It's opening up some of the Dow Jones securities here. And now I can see like the stocks and what's happening with those. If I wanted to go into like the indices, I can do that. It wants me to enter a security. So we'll say Ford again. And now I can see, you know, where Ford is, all the different like ETFs and indices that it's inside of and what's going on with all of those, how they're being affected, etc. So pretty cool there. Can also look at like an economic indicator chart, which can be pretty interesting. And then I can come in and select the country, select the different types of indicators that I want to look at. Oh, I'm clicking too many times. I need to slow down. I'm just going to randomly click on one. Let's add it in there. Oh, maybe my random clicking isn't good, but you can come in and select the specific indicators and things that you want to view, and then open up the data and charts for those in the economic indicator chart. Again, not scripted, so sometimes my clicking through to show you something fast might not lead to the best results, but you get the general idea of what we're showing here. On this front page, I should also mention it is very customizable. So say I don't really care about commodities, I don't want to see that stuff. I care more about lifestyle and entertainment. That's my kind of jam. So I'm going to change this, and now I'll have a lifestyle and entertainment tab here, and information on that is showing up here. There's also a lot of other places you can kind of dive in from this home page too. So if I came over here to the left-hand side, we can check out like foreign exchange. Just give this just a moment to load here. And now I'm seeing a bunch of the world FX rates here, getting a spot chart here. I can see the top equity indices here, government bonds, a lot of the important news related to FX. If I just care kind of about these world crosses, I can come in here and get an overview and a glance at all of these on this table here, which I think is pretty nice to have. I can even pop it out. If I wanted to kind of put this on a different monitor and kind of check it out and things of that nature, I can do that. Oh, I closed it down because I thought I had opened up another page, but I didn't. So I'll just come back over here and we'll show you the other way to get back in there. As I mentioned, I can just come back to home real easily like this. If I wanted information on real estate, oh, this one doesn't have access to real estate for this computer, but if I wanted to look at specific funds, I can do that and jump in here and look at the specific funds in here and kind of see how they're doing. And again, just everything is going to be providing you more and more information. We can kind of click into anything and learn more about it. So that's one of the things I absolutely love about it. So let's go back again. And I believe on this page, this is set up a little different than my home page on my main computer. One thing I really like to go through, especially if you're kind of into news and things of that nature, are the newsletters. So let's check that out. I'm just going to type in newsletter, and it's going to let me open up that application here. Oh, did that open up right here? All right, so these are a bunch of newsletters, and if you see subscribe right here, I could subscribe to the newsletter that it's showing. One that I really like for North America is called the Day Ahead. If this comes out daily, and I could subscribe to it here, so I can also get it like emailed to me, which I normally do. But we'll just go ahead and take a look at this real quick because I think it's pretty neat, pretty useful. So this is showing all the ones that have come through. So if I look at the one, this one came out at the end of yesterday, basically. So you would look at this either yesterday evening or in the morning, something like that. We'll go ahead and open it up here. And it's going to say the day ahead. It's going to give me a quick market recap here. Wall Street ended higher while Treasury yields fell after data signaled an easing in labor market tightness, et cetera, et cetera. I can come here. Let's maybe zoom in a little bit. It's going to let me know big changes in certain stocks or important stocks and what was happening with them. Excuse me. Get a quick sip of water here. I can see the Treasury changes, Forex, just kind of any big news would kind of come up here. It lets me know about upcoming key economic events, things I should be on the lookout for that might be making big changes or big announcements. Kind of just give me an idea of things I might want to check out. Also letting me know, different stocks and what happened to them, and et cetera. Just giving me news on the day ahead and things to be looking out for, where I can get a kind of brief overall summary of everything going on in my markets in the North American area. And so 10, 15-minute read maybe, and I'm kind of all caught up on everything. So this is one that I really like to check out. But as you can see, if I go back again, all sorts of different newsletters and things that you can get access to with your subscription. And again, these can be emailed to you as well. So I think that's really useful here. Let's go ahead and jump out of that one and check out some of these other tabs that we have in here and keep learning, keep going through things together. All right, so if we come down here, you can see there's a bunch of countries listed here. So we were doing kind of a deep dive on just a specific company earlier, but you can also do that with different countries. So if I wanted to look at the United States, it's going to have its kind of own overview page here where I can get all the top news for the United States and everything that's going on with it here. So if you're very regional specific, you can kind of just dive into what's important to you. You can also set up your news monitor to just show things in the region or areas that you care about too. And I guess saying news monitor, we should probably check that out. You can access this from the home page as well, or like your saved apps. Okay, so I currently have this on the 10-year Treasury. We don't want that. Let's say I care about news for Ford and oil and Bitcoin. You'll notice it has this end. So it's going to be showing me all the different news for those types of things here. But I can go in and make all sorts of changes here. So maybe I want, I could change the end to an or a not. So if you're trying to get more specific at what you're looking for, but some other story keeps popping up, you could say not that, etc. You can also come in here and set up like highlights. I want, if something has to do with, China, I want that to be highlighted in blue. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And now you'll see this story here is being highlighted in blue because that has to deal with China. If I wanted it to tell me, if it's talking about Ethereum, I want that to be highlighted in this color here. We can do that. None of these stories are specifically showing that because I'm very limited in what I'm searching for up here. But I can change this around and pull up all sorts of different data. But this lets you be specific here. And you can keep this kind of open as a monitor to look at different things. Let's look at the United States. Again, you can also put like countries in here too if you care about news just like from your country or a specific market or something of that nature. And then you're trying to get different highlights. What I'm just trying to share is that you can come in and kind of really customize this to show you what you want to see. You can kind of set up your own portfolio list and things of that nature, and then you could just set this to your portfolio so it's monitoring the things in your portfolio, and the news will be coming in live instantly. And so if you want to have certain highlights kind of show up so things that are really important, you can have that as well. There's a ton of functionality in here. If we come inside of here, you can see the sources where the news is coming from and kind of select that. You can also get some social media information. You'll see there's this market sentiment right over here. And this is letting you know if, this story is currently giving a lot of negative market sentiment. This one's mostly positive market sentiment, etc. You'll see that on a lot of these different stories that are kind of like tracking it through that. You can see some of this news is coming through on X, formerly Twitter, or you have it through Reuters, etc. You can see the source right here. You can change the sources. The search mode can be just in the headlines, or you can also have it search in the story text too. So all sorts of different things you can set up for your news. And, maybe this is something you just keep open on one monitor throughout the day. So, any big news that's coming through, so you can stay on top of that. I should also mention you can set up alerts too. So if you want alerts about certain things, there is an alert manager here, and you can set up alerts too. So you don't have to always keep an eye on specific news stories coming in or things of that nature. You can come in here and set an alert for, this gives examples, like you could just type in Amazon, or you could type in the symbol of Amazon, or put in your portfolio or your monitor list or something of that nature. I want to get news on Ford. I want it to trigger via any of these different criteria here. So if I want it to be based on price or some sort of news or some sort of fundamental or technical indicator, etc., I can set that up, and this can give me pop-up alerts as well, as you can see right here. So I can have pop-up alerts, toast alerts. Let me just pick something here so we can show these. A toast alert, a pop-up, a sound. I can get an email, etc. So all sorts of really cool and unique alerts you can get. You can say how frequently the alerts come in as well. So really good alert system if that's something that you're looking for that you can get in here. You can also see here, so alerts for price, alerts on news, alerts on company events, filings, price surges, volume surges, significant developments, economic indicators, etc. You can set up alerts for all of those, and then you can view a history of your alerts in here, as well as kind of manage and update them in here too. So really cool functionality with the alerts. I'm just going to check over here and see if I've had any questions come in, because sometimes I forget to check. Oh, somebody corrected me. That was a 5.25 floppy disk earlier. You're right. I thought it was the smaller one, but I was wrong. Let's see here. Okay, I'm not seeing any specific questions, so we can keep going. So I'm going to check out a couple more apps and kind of show those to you guys, some that I think are really useful, and then I'll show you how you can kind of combine some of these applications to create your own kind of custom workspaces. So one that I think is kind of fundamental here is, so if I click into monitoring here, you can see all sorts of different monitoring types of apps that I can open up. The main one that I like to use is called the Monitor, because this thing can monitor so many different types of things, and I find it really useful. You'll see here kind of the base Monitor app is very similar to like the quote center inside of MetaStock, where you can see the last price, the percent change, net change, close, etc. But inside of this application, you can do so much more than inside of just quote center. So you see I put Ford right there. If I put in like the Dow, this computer doesn't have the Dow, but data set, but I can open up all the constituents by just clicking this little arrow here to see all of them. And then I could also put in like a headline here if I wanted to. So insert header row. If I wanted to have crypto down here, put in crypto, and then I could say, Bitcoin. Move my mouse so I can see what I'm typing. Litecoin, etc. I can kind of set this up how I want, and then if I wanted to close this or open it, however I can. So you can create your own headers, create kind of your own flow and stuff inside of here. But then what I find is really useful is all the different criteria and indicators and things that you can track on this Monitor app. So if I just click that open, it's going to open this up, and you'll see there's hundreds of different things for me to select here. I mean, just under Japan fundamentals, there's 7,610 indicators that I could monitor. Just to give you an example, if you don't like certain things in here, you can filter them out. You don't need them. You can always just type in what it is that you're looking for. So if I wanted to look at the 52-week total return, I'm just going to click OK. It'll populate that for me. Or the 52-week high-low range. It'll also put in like a little bar visual here for me to look at. Also, like indicators, if I wanted to know where the Bollinger upper band is at, I can put that into here. I mean, again, there's thousands of different things that you can monitor in here. Economic indicators can be added in here, all sorts of different things for you to review. And then you can also come in here and format this in all sorts of different ways, add filters to it for when you're looking at it, change how you sort it, etc. It's very easy to kind of do that. And then, so this is kind of a core application that I'll often use. I'll have my portfolio within a monitor. I'll have, watch lists and things like that. And you can have multiples of them too. So I can come in here and I can, save this as the web tester. All right. And now when I'm doing things such as inside of the news monitor app or something of that nature, I can type in web tester and it's going to be monitoring all the news for the things that I have within this monitor. Pretty useful feature there. So this is one that I like to use a lot. So we'll go ahead and keep that open and open up another kind of app. Let's go ahead and check out this quote app. So the quote app just does just that. It's going to give you all the data at a quick glance here so you can kind of see what's going on with something. This has Bitcoin loaded because that's one of the last things that I typed in. And so now I can see the actively changing prices here, the exchange that it's coming in from, all this changing data, stuff like that. So maybe I like to have, this is a common application we might use. You know what, let's actually let's start putting all of this together. How about that? So I'm going to close down these other applications we were checking out earlier. But here, let's start with my monitor app. And let's say this is something, I kind of just like to keep open and keep an eye on the market with. So I'm going to have that right there. And then let's go ahead and take this quote app and we're going to go ahead and put it right here. Another application I really like to use is called the sidebar application. And you'll see what this does in just a moment. So I'm going to kind of put this off to the side over here. Have it on my other monitor as well. So I'll pull it over here. So currently I'm just kind of linking things together to kind of create my own custom application here. Let's go inside of here and look at some of the other applications that I can pull up as well. So let's say I also wanted to have a seasonality chart. Let's go ahead and open that up. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And let's see, where do we want to put it? Well, let's actually make all that smaller. And let's put it right here. I'm going to actually drag this up. And this is something I only really have to do once because I can save all of this. So once I have kind of a nice setup that I like and save it, I don't really have to go in and do much adjusting or anything of that nature afterwards. And also something I quickly want to mention, you can have multiple workspaces that you're kind of diving between too. So like just a quick example, if I click this bond one, we can see global bonds over here and it put me inside of this workspace. You can't actually see it, but there's a whole news application that I opened up on my other monitor, as well as, finally, this might be from the last time I did a demonstration. It also has a seasonality chart and other things on this other monitor you can't see. I'm actually going to go back into the one we've been working on and kind of keep showing you guys what you can do here with all these apps once you have everything kind of set up how you want it. So do you know what? I really like that kind of forward overview page that, well, I guess it doesn't have to be forward, but the overview page that we had open earlier, I really like having that. So I'm going to put that right here and I'll have this one take up kind of the rest of the screen here. This is actually down pretty low. So let's pull this up. Okay, so now you'll see that's pretty neat. These are linked together. If I wanted to drag them all as one unit onto another monitor or something, I can do that. That's cool. There's a lot of data and stuff going on here, but I a feature I absolutely love, I think it really kind of helps tie everything together inside of your workspaces here, is, this is looking at Ford, this is looking at Bitcoin, this one's also on Bitcoin at the moment, and then I have this full list of things here. Well, I can link all of these together. You'll see there's this little kind of like chain, like a link up here. I'm going to go ahead and set this as purple. We'll set this as purple, purple. Put all of these on the same color, because you can have multiples of these if you want different things kind of connected, you can do that. But we're going to have all of these be the same. So now what you'll see is if I click a security inside of my monitor, so we'll just look at this one right here. Now all of these change to also be that KO.N, the Coca-Cola company here. So now I have their seasonality chart. I have their overview page here. It opened up the quote here, and you'll see my little sidebar that has data, lets me know upcoming events, a real quick chart here, and some of the peers and things. So I kind of like having that sidebar active. But so yeah, now all of these are linked together. I can come in here, click something else from Home Depot, opens all of these up. You can also have tabs open within these. So let me actually bring this one back. So this one's on the home view page, and then I have the news monitor right here. And then if I'm inside of the news monitor, looking at something, and I decide, I want to look at something else like Tesla, I can open these things up as well. And then, well, this new one that I opened actually wasn't linked. So if I also link this, and then I opened up Tesla, I link everything together, and now it'll change the others as well. So pretty cool there. You can have multiple tabs within your tabs on all of these different windows. So very customizable. And then, I really like working off multiple monitors. It's not a requirement, but then you can also have things on your multiple monitors, and it saves where everything is. And it's just a really nice way of being able to get your data and being able to customize it exactly how you want in a very easy and intuitive manner. With that said, and kind of showing that, having showed that, I want to show you guys, just let's look at some other workspaces and what, just to give you kind of a broader idea. I was trying to show you guys the scope of what's included. We haven't even scratched the surface, but I'm going to come over here and open up some other like workspaces, or maybe like a template. Let's look at some of these text templates. So most popular apps, we'll go ahead and open up this one and kind of see what opens up. So you'll see we have like a quote list. This one has that quote center we were looking at before, the home page here, a world clock, an interactive map. It's maybe not loaded to any specific area at the moment. This just gives you an idea. And so you can have these apps here and be reviewing your data here. And if you wanted to go back into the one that we had just created, it's saved right up here in its own kind of separate workspace. Simply click on it, and this one opens up, the other one closes down. And again, this can be across multiple monitors. So really cool there. We also have some partners that have kind of created some custom templates and things, and that'll share their templates or things of that nature. So that's kind of nice, being able to use some of theirs. You can see, commodities. There's a lot of kind of just built-in workspaces that you can use. Sometimes they're linked to certain things that we don't really use with Zenith. So I guess maybe the test ones are better to make sure we're showing more functional things. So let's look at the news app. This shows a tons of different news applications that are inside of here. We could have done this whole demo just looking at different news applications and sources in here, and we wouldn't have even got through them all in the 1 hour. But I like to show this. So again, yeah, you can have multiples of these saved up here. Once you have this whole bar filled to, maybe you have, certain pages dedicated to certain securities or certain Forex markets or something like that. I mean, however you want to do it, really. But it's real easy to dive in between them, and then you can have more workspaces saved inside of here too. You'll see there's tons of them saved in here on this computer. And so yeah, it's really easy to kind of save those and have everything set up. And then once you have it set up how you like it, then it's smooth sailing from there. And you can always kind of jump in and have it saved how you like it, be able to navigate through it. You can learn so much in here. So I always recommend people, if you think you could benefit from some of this data, if you've been looking for a way to access some of this data, I mean, it's very likely that Zenith has it, and I highly recommend, a trial so you can test it out for yourself. Let's go ahead and come over here. And just on my other page, let's jump inside of our PowerPoint again and make sure I haven't skipped over too much stuff because we are kind of coming up on our 1 hour here. If I jump back in this slideshow. All right, so we'll just go through a few PowerPoints again just to make sure I kind of didn't skip over too much stuff. But some markets available. I mean, you have pretty much everything in here. You get agriculture, you get commodities, emerging markets, equities, FX, metals, energy, you name it. You can find it in here. You can get news on it. You can get fundamentals on it. You can get data on it. So really useful stuff. Very intuitive, extremely intelligent search functionality. So, I mean, anything you can really think of. I think, we could have spent probably even more time showing the search functionality in there and kind of how it all works. It also links to Excel. So you can get the Thomson Reuters icon or Thomson Reuters, the kind of templates here inside of Excel and then do your own analysis in there. And there's so many different templates and features and data feeds for linking that in Excel as well. And you can have the data updated live inside of Excel. So I think that's a really powerful feature worth utilizing. I have a lot of my clients that use Zenith on a daily basis, but hadn't really explored the Excel tools that comes with it too. And there's so much more that you can kind of do inside of there with all the different functions and calculations that are inside of there. So I really recommend playing with that too. Zenith by the numbers. We kind of shared this one earlier, but I think it's worth kind of recapping on this. You have over 150 different currency pairs for FX. News is in all of our packages. We have global market coverage. You can get sector and industry group analysis. All sorts of easy things to use. Your information moves between one PC to the next. This is a downloadable software for Windows. However, there is also a web-based version, so you can do a web-based login on any device with a web browser. Some of the functionality isn't entirely the same, so we recommend the downloaded version, but I've never really found anything I couldn't do on the web-based version myself. So that is available too. So the pricing, you might be asking, how much does this cost? Maybe you've had a Bloomberg terminal in the past where you're paying $2,000 a month, or the Icon directly where you're paying a couple thousand. Well, with this, you can get our FX package that still gives global stocks and futures and Forex and all of that. It just has a 10 to 15 minute delay on the pricing data for like stocks or futures, but all the FX data, all the news, everything is live. It's only $110 a month. So, I mean, really cheap cost considering all the data and information that you're getting. Or if you want to have, the live stocks or futures, etc., you can sign up for a regional plan. And again, all of these packages still have the global news, still have global delayed data and everything. It's just if you want live pricing data, then you might want this regional plan to get like the North American package, and then you can sign up for the individual exchange fees to make them live, which are just a few dollars a month for most stock exchanges. And then for futures, though, those exchange fees do get quite a bit higher. But if you're a futures trader, I'm sure you're already aware of that. With this, if you wanted to sign up for an extended trial, because there's so much information and data and things to go through in here, we want to give you a lot of time to really get comfortable with it and use it all. So we do a 3-month trial option where you pay for just 1 month, and then we'll give you that second month and the third month for free. So 90 days access basically for as low as just $110. And you can get that by signing up at metastock.com/EK3for1. Or just jump into our chat room, metastock.com/sales chat. And we do have a full team here ready to answer any questions that you might have. If you already have an existing like end of day account and wanted to upgrade and try the real-time MetaStock, it'll be powered by this Zenith data feed, and you'll be able to get access to this news and all this data in here too. You can do that. Just come into our chat room. We'll answer all your questions and help you out with that. Again, it's just metastock.com/sales MetaStock.com/sales chat, and we're happy to answer all your questions there and help you get set up on a trial so you can kind of start testing and using this data for yourself. If you guys have any specific questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. I do know a lot about it, but again, there's so much in here. If for some reason I don't have an answer to your question, I'll direct you to the right place. Let's see here. Let me open up my chat. Not seeing specific questions. I'm seeing some thank yous. You guys, you're welcome. Thanks so much for attending today. As always, I mean, we're putting on webinars almost every week. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can like and subscribe to us on YouTube and get the videos on there. If you're watching and go to webinar, like it looks like the majority of you are, continue to check our website, MetaStock.com, and go into the events tab, and you can sign up for additional webinars to watch us there too. And yeah, I want to say thank you one last time for everyone for sitting through this presentation with me. And we're ready to take your call or answer your questions if you want to learn more about the platform. But thanks, and have a great rest of your week, everyone.
Hi, Kelly Clement here from MetaStock. Before you go, I have two quick things for you. One, thanks for joining us today. We love having you here at our webinars and viewing our videos. So what I'd like to invite you to do before you go is like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us a great deal, and it helps us bring you more awesome content like today's video. The second thing is we have a great ebook on trading that you can get for free. If you go to MetaStock.com/YouTube book, you can get a free copy of The Secrets of Successful Traders. It's a great book with lots of content from traders just like yourself who can teach you some of the secrets that they have learned. Thanks for taking a second with me and learning about those two things. Thanks for joining us, and keep on trading.